Hello, and welcome to a new unbiased gear review. This is one some of you have been waiting for, the Aristides 080s. So first, the specs of this instrument. We have a one-piece molded neck and body made out of a very, very resonant material known as Arium that is Aristides guitar's own design, as well as several layers of other resonant materials inside, such as carbon fiber. We have a Richlite fingerboard with 24 stainless steel frets, a graphite tusk nut, Hipshot open gear locking tuners, and a custom Hipshot slanted bridge. Speaking of custom slant, we've got Bareknuckle pickups, a Bareknuckle custom Aristides pickup in the neck, and a Bareknuckle Juggernaut in the bridge. Master volume, master tone, 5-way toggle switch, and also a really super cool red and purple chameleon finish. Matte on the neck, gloss on the body. So I won't lie to you, I was a little conflicted on whether or not to do this review because I do have some ties to Aristides at this point. I've got a few friends that work there. I'm going to be visiting them later this summer. I know a lot of other users of Aristides. I've convinced a lot of other people to buy them before because most of you guys know I've had my orange 070 for about 2 years now and I absolutely love it. But because I've got ties to the company, I was like, man, can I really say that this is an unbiased gear review? And ultimately I can say that it is an unbiased gear review. Why? Because this guitar and the customer service that is provided when you are ordering said guitar is really top shelf stuff. So yeah, even if I've got some sort of bias, talk to some other owner and they're going to give you the same story. They're going to tell you about how they were communicating with Pascal or with Kyle or with anyone else at the factory for a considerably long time. They made their decision, they took suggestions about what their specs would be, and that they were kept appraised every step of the way. They were given pictures showing what the current build status is, and really just made to feel like they are part of a family because they own one of these incredible instruments. My experience was much the same when ordering the orange 070. And this is actually Chad's guitar. Chad has nothing but great things to say about his experience ordering it as well. If you want specifics, ask him. But yeah, the customer service is absolutely top notch from guys that really know what they're doing and really take a hell of a lot of pride in what they do. What's the first thing that I always call out as far as the specs goes, whether it be good or negative? It's the fretwork. The fretwork on this thing is top fucking notch. It is perfectly level. You have these beautiful fret edges. that come right up to the edge of the board, no sharp edges, nicely rolled off. It is absolutely perfect fretwork. The finish work is also exceptional. There's a lot of guys that will tell you about the finish work of an Aristides and how they love checking out all the different custom finish options and how sometimes they come up with new custom finish options just from talking with the staff. So this particular one is a purple and red chameleon finish that changes color depending on how you look at it. Many people will know that Isan from Emperor has one of these, as well as Mr. Paul Oz. You've seen his YouTube channel. As well as Timu from Delane has one of these now, although with a marbleized finish on it, which looks really, really cool. But you can get these in an almost innumerable amount of finish options. The thing plays absolutely phenomenal. It is a very comfortable instrument. It has a pretty flat neck on it, and add to that a compound radius that starts off at 14 inches, goes to 19 inches, and a scale length. This multi-scale design is 26.5, which is the same scale length as their 070 model, all the way to a 28-inch on the bass side, which is the same scale length as their 080 model, the standard model. It's very, very comfortable, very easy to navigate. Because it's below 27 inches on the treble side, the high strings don't really feel all that tight, but they do push back just a little bit. Because the bass side is 28 inches, you get a really nice high tension on the low strings, which is perfect for those really fast palm muting and treble picking runs. The overall feel of this thing is just phenomenal. Some people would call out this kind of pseudo, like automobile looking, like air vent looking thing design in the body as being like, wow, I'll bet that feels uncomfortable on the wrist. And honestly, no, you barely notice it. If anything, like the little heel edge of your palm sometimes digs into it, but that's cool because that just gives you a nice anchor point when you're playing the thing. I really don't have any bad things to say whatsoever about how this thing plays. Super comfy. This one is one of the lightest extended range Aristides guitars I've ever felt. There is a little bit variation between them. My 070 is very heavy. Chad will even tell you that was the only turnoff when he picked it up, is that one was super heavy. This thing, more strings, more mass, and it's actually lighter. Who'd have thunk it? But very cool. When you're playing it using a strap, there's no neck dive or anything. It sits perfect. It's super comfy. Great fret access too. Yeah, nothing bad to say whatsoever about the playability. Another testament to the quality of work. I don't normally like taking the time to remove the back cover in these videos and show you guys the inner workings, but you are looking at some absolutely god-tier wiring right there. Tim obviously takes a hell of a lot of pride in what he does. That is super clean, super crisp, perfectly flowing lines. It almost makes you not want to ever fuck with the electronics in this thing because you just don't want to fuck that up. So speaking of the electronics, how does the thing sound? Well, as you guys know, I do not like bare knuckle pickups typically. I've tried many different varieties and they're just not for me. That being said, I'm starting to see why people dig them. And bear with me real quick. Alright, something about an Aristides instrument. There's some weird voodoo going on that no matter what pickups you put in this thing, it's probably the best you've ever heard those pickups sound. Don't believe me? There's a lot of guys out there that for some reason do not like the Seymour Duncan, Pegasus, and Sentient combo. Try them in an Aristides. They sound fucking massive in that guitar. It's crazy awesome how good they sound there. And the same kind of voodoo goes on with Bareknuckles here. Try them as I might in Skirvisons, in modded Kiesels, in modded this, modded that I've tried. I've tried some in an ESP once that I didn't care for at all. Something about these pickups just sounds really, really good in this. They're very usable. There's actual tone to these Bareknuckles in this guitar. I don't typically like Bareknuckles because they're the kind of pickup where it's all about the note definition. It's all about the separation and the articulation, but seemingly at the expense of the tone. It's really weird, but at the same time, I'm starting to see now why people like them. Some of you guys have called out on my videos, Arnold, turn down the goddamn gain. Clean up your tone. Okay, no problem. I did that. And now I understand a little bit about why these pickups appeal to everybody. It's because when you're multi-tracking with them, the lack of pickup gain and the excess articulation and cleanliness that these things pick at are just perfect for tracking, for multi-tracking, I should say. So if you're doing like 2 guitar lines, 4 guitar lines, when you add all those together, it really, really thickens it up. Super cool how awesome these things sound in this guitar. Probably put them fucking in any other instrument. I'm going to have the same problems that I have them in previous experiences, just not going to care for them. But in this thing, something about this goddamn guitar, it brings out the best in pretty much any pickup you put in it. I played another Aristides that had an EMG 57 and 66 combo. Shout out to you, Mr. Nando. And that is the first time that I actually heard those pickups in a guitar, and it sounded killer. So, there again, something about these instruments. It's weird, it's difficult to explain, it sounds like I'm talking out of my ass, but try one of these things and see for yourself. I'm going to keep my final thought on this brief, because I pretty much waxed eloquent at the beginning about why I like these things. There is a lot of pride that goes into an Aristides guitar. You pick one up and you can fucking see it in every single spot on this guitar. Inspect all you want. Look all you want. You're not going to find anything that you can call out as being a problem on this instrument. If anything, it'll be down to personal choice. Maybe you pick one of these things up and you're like, nah, I don't like the neck profile. That's fine. That's your personal choice. Maybe you pick one of these things up and you're like, nah, I don't like the scale links. That's fine. That's down to personal choice. But these instruments typically go for somewhere between $3,000, $4,000, thereabouts. It's early to mid 4 figures. There's a reason why. You are paying that much so that you can take away like all the variables about quality control. You are paying that much so that you don't have to worry about getting a shit instrument, because it's not going to be a shit instrument. It's going to be top-notch quality. There again, maybe it's not going to be the right instrument for you, but at least you will get your money's worth out of it. Going back to the point I made at the beginning of the video about whether or not I can make an unbiased gear review about this thing, here's another reason why I can make a claim that this is unbiased. I love these things so much, I'm about to place my down payment for my next one. All right? I've already got one. What do I need another one for? I already have a few guitars in here, 8-string, multi-scale, dual humbucker, that are going to serve the same purpose as the one I'm about to order. I'm about to order an 080s of my own. Why? Because it's fucking killer. And they deserve my money for making fucking killer instruments. So I hear you asking, Arnold, what are you drinking today? What I am drinking is from Zipline Brewing, their barrel-aged chocolate double stout. It comes in a 750 milliliter bottle, and it is 11.5% ABV. It is brewed with cocoa nibs, and it is aged in bourbon barrels. It has a very pungent dark chocolate aroma, and when you taste it, you definitely taste a lot of that dark chocolate flavor, a little bit of milk chocolate, as well as the whiskey, and there's a little bit of like a wine grape in there as well. Super rich flavor. It's weird. It's not like too complex, but it's just very, very rich. But not bitter though. Not bitter at all. Very delicious. I highly recommend it. Zipline Brewing. So that's all I've got for you. Guys, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them in the comment section below. I'd love to read them. Yeah, seriously, check this company out, Aristides Guitars. Like I said, I'm going to order a second one for a reason. Check out Zipline Brewing. Check out this awesome band, Astronoid, who I just saw last night and who fucking killed it. You guys have a great rest of your whatever day it is that you're watching this. I will see you guys in the next video.